welcome everyone back to our meditation session. If you are just popping in and this is your first time, we meditate every day. This space is for whatever your spiritual practice is, but it's a 10-minute meditation session every day to build a daily habit so that we're all accountable to each other and showing up as well. And I'll be your accountability partner. I invite you to join us. And this community holds each other accountable. We show up every day. I want to begin today's session with a few things. First, a quote from an enlightened guru, master, and also to respond to some comments. So one of the comments I want to respond to is from yesterday. Keeler, as always, incredible insights. I really do appreciate how thorough you are with your comments. I won't read the whole thing. Anyone can read the whole thing from yesterday's video, day 125. But Keeler, you're talking about a couple of concepts that are really important. And I think one of them as well is this idea of the intellect being separate from the mind. I will say that I don't, ascribe to that philosophy myself, but that might be something in your practice that is helpful to you to use a framework to understand how you're meditating, right? From my point of view, to answer this question of, you said, perhaps I'm interpreting the idea incorrectly, but you think that the observer also fits, this concept well as, this intellect versus mind. I want to say a quote by Muji, and maybe you can contemplate that, and maybe this will point us into a direction that's helpful for everyone. Muji says, quote, "You are the light of consciousness and also the witness of this light. You are pure awareness." So the light of consciousness being our ability to use our minds in a focused direction to be able to take control of using our willpower and our focus to say, I'm going to meditate right now. Even though our thoughts are coming into our head, you might have sensations of boredom and wanting to stop, or maybe even a pain in your back from the way you're sitting, right? Yet you continue because you use your focus on the intention that I'm going to be in the awareness during this 10 minutes, and you use your focus of my breath, focusing on being detached, right? Being in my beingness, stillness, focused on observing everything that comes into the field of perception, right? And so the question of mind being separate from intellect, I would say, is a distraction from the truth that they're all one, that the mind itself could be considered pure awareness, and the intellect is consciousness, right? So the mind is used to witness, to observe in pure awareness. And our intellect is what we use to create our frameworks to focus on that light of our consciousness. And I hope that makes sense. I'll read the quote again. "You are the light of consciousness and also the witness of this light. You are pure awareness." And so for anyone that doesn't know, I follow the Vedanta Hindu philosophy and spiritual path, which is non-dualistic. So it does have a more holistic approach, meaning the universal truth of we are one. We are all one consciousness. We are all one conscious awareness, right? And so I just wanted to talk about that point. And Keeler, thank you so much. If anyone else wants to go read his comment, it is thought-provoking as well. And I will say also, Sandra, you had a great comment yesterday too. about, what we spoke about, our personal identity, our witness to presence. But going further, this concept of the observer, right? Observing the observer. You're saying you never got to this place. And so I want to say that the teachings that I've followed, especially from Muji, who pointed it out in the last set song that I listened to, he's not saying that there's a place you need to get to, right? You're already there. You're already there. But there is a test which will dispel the mental energy of the mind, that will push away all of the illusions and all of the distractions that will get in the way of a pure practice. And you do that by, lifting the fog of illusion, right? And how do we do that? By asking ourselves the question, we can sit in the present moment and be aware of ourselves and others from a subjective place of observation, and yet we see it and we can have separation. And in that separation, we are in our being. We are in the present moment awareness, in pure awareness. And when you're in that moment, observing, you can ask yourself the question, can this place of awareness be observed? Does this place of awareness, does it change? This place of awareness, is it stable? This place of awareness, is it movable? This place of awareness, can it be lost? Right. So when you sit in this place and you contemplate and ask the questions to the awareness, to this present moment, this place we're in, the contemplating will allow you to have your aha moment. The contemplating and sitting in this place will allow you to have your realization, which is fundamental to understanding the absolute truth of your pursuit of enlightenment, right? So as we meditate for the next 10 minutes, as we're in the observer, in the awareness, in the present moment, we're setting down our personal identity. We're detaching from who we are as a person. We're detaching from thoughts, symbols, emotions, sensations, detaching from the senses. They're there and they're usable, but we're just observing them for the next 10 minutes. We're doing nothing but observing. Whatever comes into our field of perception, we say, that's there. I'm here in the moment. The past doesn't exist. The future does not exist. There's only right now. As you sit there in that moment, present moment, contemplate this space of awareness and ask yourself, who can the awareness be observed? And this is not a practice to find an answer. This is a contemplation to discover for yourself if that's yes or if that's no. And this is the difference between reading about the steps 1, 2, 3 to enlightenment versus knowledge, realization, and embodying the absolute truth. So embodying enlightenment versus reading about enlightenment. You have to realize yourself. You have to contemplate and take your journey where it goes. And as Muji says, realization can take eons of time, or it can happen in a moment. Right? So let's meditate for 10 minutes in this space of awareness, contemplating the observer. We begin in 3, 2, 1. Now that's our 10 minutes. I would love if anyone could share their experiences if they feel compelled to. Leave a comment about your contemplations, your meditation session. I will say for me, sharpening that tool of focus and willpower, it can sometimes be a lot, because you'll be meditating. This is just my perspective. You'll be meditating and get distracted by something, right? Like being sleepy, a stray thought, getting sucked into a daydream, pain in your back or something to distract, right? And in those moments, I find like resetting by saying Om, snapping, pinching myself, whatever it would be. And in this session, I would say for the majority of it, very focused. And then I had a creeping kind of sensation come up. Of course, like boredom and like I'm feeling kind of hot, thirsty, like all of these things. And so I think it's important to just kind of honor that as well. That's why, I took a drink of water. I opened my eyes. I found actually meditating with my eyes open for most of the session felt like I could focus better with less distractions. And so for you in your practice, it's not going to be like what you see in movies where someone's just sitting in mudra, cross-legged in their sukhasana, easy pose, with perfect hip and back alignment, right? It may be, sitting on a cushion, sitting on the couch, taking a walk, in the morning, afternoon, evening. Please don't do this in your car, but, like at a park, anywhere in between taking a break in your workday. So whatever that would be to help you focus and cultivate your personal willpower to dedicate this 10 minutes to meditation. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. You can reach me by email, as well as join our email list. I'm going to give more personal attention to you there. And if you have questions, feel free to email me or leave a comment. As always, it is wonderful to see all of you again on this journey together of meditating daily. So I'll see everyone for tomorrow's session. And if there's anything you want me to cover tomorrow, leave in the comments as well. And I'll read that before filming for tomorrow. So otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye.